Hello, story time and all that jazz and all that other good stuff. Hope you're all doing well. Welcome to Thursday's stream, a continuation of Tuesday's stream, where we'll be trying to rank up as many of these new Soulblight models onto old world bases as humanly possible. Let's see what we got going on in the chat. For starters, we have Meyer the Bear first. Welcome in. We have Ans1890. Welcome to the 365 project. Really got to rename that at this stage. But thank you so much for becoming a YouTube member. We have Felix. J. Robert. How do? Chef by Azura. Sure. James Schofield. Good evening. You sound like a game show host. Now presented by James Schofield. White Wolf is here. Hendrickson is here. Marshall Markgrove. I got that all wrong. Hello. And good afternoon from Boston. Well, hello from Boston. How are you, sir? Hendrickson. MPB is here. Felix is here. White Wolf is here. Yes. For once, it would be nice for someone to call me sir without needing to add, "You're making a seed." Yeah. Any good streams for a Thursday evening painting in the laboratory? No, don't know of any good ones. I think Kira Allen's let us stream and she's pretty good. Hello, Tim Shabby, Miss Medusa, Colin's Painting Adventure. Welcome in, everybody. I hope you are all doing well. Stephen, hello. Darren Murray, howdy. Well, hello. How are we all getting on? I hope we are all doing well. Need a little bit more light in here. That's about right. It's not straight on my cutting mat, though. Do you know what I tried to find the other day? Gridless cutting mats. I need this material, like this real matte. I need something new for the surface. One day I thought it was real clever and I got a pane of glass. Like, it was out of IKEA, you know, when you buy like those like vanity tables and you can buy like that glass top separate kind of thing. I got one of those glass tops thinking it'd be a perfect thing to use because you get paint all over it and then you can just like scrub it off or scrape it off. Little did I know, all the light would of course be reflected from the lights back up into the camera. It was a nightmare. I don't know why my brain didn't tell me that before purchasing, but yeah. Lord Commander Joe, been using your intro to contrast paints and flesh tears videos to paint my chapter. I've avoided contrast for armor for so long, but your videos have been amazing. Cheers, dude. I appreciate that, man. I'm glad they helped. And you're starting to see the glorious power of contrast. And I'm glad they're helping you get your toys on the table. Sam Livera, hello. Hello. Just watching the most recent Jugs podcast and they talk about how top a bloke Mediocre Hobbies is. Yeah, man. And that he has an invite to go on the Jugs podcast. I have been messaged by a few of them to go on to it. So yeah, there's a request there. Mine is the IKEA and just black. Mine is from IKEA and just black. Do you mean like your desk is black or you have a desk cover that's just black? Should use a giant cork mat just because it's base material when it's knackered. Not a bad idea. Shippo, hello. Ren, how terribly my Blood Angels performed at Throne of Skulls. How did Blood Angels perform terribly? I took it upon myself to repaint my Tyranid army for the 4th time. Jesus. Hello, Fel Ragon. Hello. A mat from IKEA that's just matte black. Now, it has to be very specific because it can't just be a good desktop mat. It has to be like matte black. Even this reflects more light than I would like. I don't know if you can see it, but it's a nightmare, man. But yeah, I requisitioned a new tray. So I've got the right dimensions of tray that I want for this unit so I can rank them up properly. So I've got the first 5 done. I'm going to work on the rest of the 15 this evening. And I have the tray for the nights if I manage to get that far. But it's going to be fun to try and rank all these boys up. These boys and girls up. And make it all work for the old world. Buy one and use the blackest black paint. A mat without a grid, could you do by yourself with glue you spill on it? Yeah, it was a thought I had. Is there a way of me just to remove the... I probably passed out from the fumes, but yeah. Just tack some black cartridge paper over the cutting mat. It's another idea, is to get a big roll of... What's cartridge paper? Do you mean like printer paper? Is that like that goes in your cartridge of your printer? Is it just what some people call it? Those don't look square. Well, they are. Blackboard paint, God no. The feeling on that would be awful. No. Could you spray your existing matte black? It's potential. Wondering what your opinion on theme paint schemes for armies like Statue, Stormcast, or Lava Necrons or something. My opinion on the theme is that it's not a theme. And I don't think people should call it a theme. I think they should just own up to the fact that they want a simple paint army that's painted. Like, it's not a good scheme. Like, Statue Stormcast make no sense. There is no Statue Stormcast. You're not doing it because it's cooler than any other Stormcast idea. You're doing it because it's quick and easy to paint. And that's fine. That's totally fine. And they don't look bad. Just own up to what they are. I did a ghost army in old Warhammer Fantasy, and I had a block of 100 zombies, 10 by 10 movement tray of zombies. And all I did was spray them white, and I put a green contrast over the top of them to make them look like glowy ghosts. And I never pretended like it was anything other than a very quick and easy way to get an undead army done. I put some effort into the characters. Like, I still have... I wonder if he's still here, actually. Are you on this show? Yeah, you are. You're still here. So I still have one of the characters from that army. The rest of the army's long gone. But I still have my Conrad. And he looks like this. So the whole army looked like this. That green color was every model except the vampires. So it was like the living vampires had raised the ghosts up, and you had the ghostly theme bleeding in. But it wasn't because it looked better than them being painted bone and rusted armor and cloth. It was just fast. So that's my opinion. I do rusty Necrons. It's not because I think they look the best. It's because they're the easiest to paint. Is a higher GSM paper. Do people think I'm going to know what GSM means? Come on. A higher GSM. What does it even mean? If you look up any company that supplies to large format printing companies, they often have cutting mats on rolls ranging from 3 to 12 millimeters thick. Cutting mats on rolls, you say? Now we're getting somewhere. We need to find a guy called Matthew Black and teach him to paint minis in a video series called Learning to Paint with Only Matte Black. We could make that work. We could figure that out. Abbreviations are bad. They're not just bad for me. Like 90% of the people in the chat didn't know what he was talking about. It's ridiculous. Just use the words. We as the Irish have been forced to learn the beautiful language that is English. And if we're gonna learn it, grams per square meter. Jesus. Is the way the paper is organized. Never mind. Both of you answered, and both of you didn't make it any clearer as to what's the point of it. Why would zombies be ghosts? Because they're the ghosts of peasants raised up from the dead, obviously. You moron. Could you spray? Yes. Wondering what the option theme? Yes. I wouldn't judge anyone for having a themed army. It's a great way to get armies done fast for tournaments, and they can look really cool. Same with heavy OSL as well. Yeah, I was watching a Vanguard Tactics. I was watching his reels the other day. He was doing reels where I was like, ask him anything. And he's talking about what's the best army to start with for playing in tournaments. So specifically for tournaments, someone asked, what's the best army to start with? And the recommendation he was what you could do is you should do a Space Marine army and paint it super generic, like a grey armor with non-distinct chapter symbols and stuff like that. And then you can run them as Blood Angels or Space Wolves or whatever you want. For whatever the meta changes, whenever the rules change, whatever suits you best that round. Grab a new codex and play a whole new round. And I was like, that's so cool. It's just such a smart way of doing it. Basically, GSM determines the thickness of the paper. Nice. Wait until you come against the TOG rating systems. The TOG is a tank, buddy. It's a big, beautiful, long tank. It's like a canal barge on tracks. May I ask why you use laser cut bases and not the plastic square bases? Yes, you may. And I will show you why as opposed to try and explain it to you. Give me a unit. Give me a unit. Come here to me. Yeah, you'll work. Maybe you want to finish bases. Yeah, you could. Ooh, don't break. I'll grab you as well. You will be a good example. I also need the counter argument piece, so any models on old trays? No? Okay, no, I've got rid of them all. So if you use the tapered Games Workshop bases, which are fine, they're great, I use them forever. When you I think it works perfectly for 40k. It's just like every model has a plinth, so you know what I mean. So you've got the bit on the side of the base which tapers down, and that's jet black, and that's fine. The model moves around. But I find when you have that taper, which exists on the square bases, and then you rank them up, there's a grid between every model in the unit, which drives me insane. I much prefer the unit to look like it's trundling across one ground. So, well, that could have gone better. Let's just ignore that. So, for instance, I made this base for my Bombard, and all the models sit into it perfectly. And it's one flat scene. And I just think it looks better. I think for the purposes of old world, I think it aesthetically, it looks better and it works better. So do I recommend it for everyone? No, not even remotely. Like, use your square bases. It's just adding an unnecessary cost to doing your toys. But I was sent a laser cutter for doing reviews and stuff. So I have a laser cutter. So I'll laser cut out some bases. But even for me, it's still a cost. I still have to buy wood. So yeah, that's my reasoning. Aesthetically, I think it looks better. I'm not saying it does 100%. People can argue and they say the other ones look better. That's totally fine. But I just like it to look like a block on a scene. I respect that. I built and painted a grayscale Space Marine army and I really liked him, but he's just not anything fancy. And that's fine. It's not supposed to be fancy. It's just supposed to be done. Sometimes you get armies that you really want to play, but like the effort, like I would really like to play a Genestealer cult army, but man, that's so, like, you're dedicating hundreds and hundreds of hours to get a Genestealer cult army painted, because those models are all perfect. They're one of the best range of miniatures Games Workshop has ever done. But they want you to paint, like, on every basic infantry model, they've got like a rusted shotgun, and then they've got like hazmat gear, and then they've got flak gear, and then they've got medals, and then they've got alien skin with ridges, and that guy's like 4 points. It's like, oh god. So, you know what I mean? Every cheap vehicle has like axes bolted to the side, and crazy dozer blades. And they're perfect. I love them all. Dirt bikes, detail on them is insane. Not very many points. I feel very royal when I try to speak polite English. It's what we would call your phone voice. My phone, yes. The first time my wife spoke to me on a phone, she asked me to put me on because my phone voice was so different. Okay, I have to admit, the bases are looking really good and fluffy. I just like them flat. I'm a weirdo. We have a Blood Raven video I'm editing, so I'm not sure if he missed your question. So I missed him waffling. Oh no, sorry, wait. Contrast paints Blood Ravens on a tank scheme. Do you contrast paint? Do I have a wait, what? Replying to Hammer the Backlog. What did Hammer the Backlog ask? Andrew, contrast paints Blood Ravens on a tank scheme. It's possible. Like, I have shown that you can contrast tanks, but I don't contrast tanks. I showed that you can do it, but I prefer airbrushing tanks because it's just faster. It's smoother coats and it's just easier to weather and rust afterwards, or chip or damage, or certain things are going to be easier. The beautiful crimson color of the Raven Guard or Blood Raven, and then those like cream doors and stuff would be so much nicer airbrushed. And I know you have an airbrush, but painting jeans to their cult now, absolute nonsense. Do what I did, paint them in the Angels of Death style. Way too many details. I even did a video on it. On which? Wait, what's too much? Yeah, yeah. What's up, my nerdizzles? What up, Lord Raldoron? How is everyone? Fine evening. Actually, favor your bases without the taper. Not that I do the old world. They are good, but the problem is now that I'm trying to do... Like, I'd wish I'd put more thought into the bases before I started the whole project. And the reason for that, like, I have the laser cut, so I could have designed it. Okay, bear with me. The bases are currently 2 layers of MDF thick. There's a frame of MDF, yeah? And then there's one flat layer. And when you're cutting out the frame, it's brilliant because you cut out the frame and all the bases at the same time. So it's just 2 layers, which gives you the base. I wish that I had gotten the magnetic strip stuff, and there was a 3rd layer. So there was a flat layer, then you stick the magnetic square onto it, and then I laser cut little holes for magnets in all these bases so they would stick to the tray, and then hopefully the tray would stick into a base or a War Mag case or something. So yeah, so like when I put these armies away, I put them in by entire unit into a case stored that way. I know it seems a bit extreme, and I keep telling myself for the next army when I'm laser cutting out the bases I'll put all that effort in, but I haven't. So yeah, it's a bit annoying. Turned out good. I did contrast tanks and I did stippling on tanks. Both works fine. Yeah, stippling is more consistent for me as well. I feel you. Been at the office all day. Productive though. Nice. I know last thing I did was set up spearhead terrain. That works quite well now. Nice. If I put ochre paint in a field surgeon, would that become mediocre? I'll show myself out. Same. Only finished at 6:30. Also pretty productive though. I only finished at 6 too. Today's video was a long L slog. I recognize that bombard. The old school. Are you the gent that sent me the bombard? Isn't it beautiful? And obviously I have the scenic base for displaying it, and I would like to deploy it like this, but obviously the legal size base is that for tournaments. So if anyone has a problem with it, I can just take it and the crew out of the base. This is actually the crew, and then I can just go from there. But if anyone actually has a problem with it, then they're just arseholes. So this is the way I like deploying it. Devlost, I'm following along painting up Lady Elise Ducard per your video. I am a long time wet palette user, but heard somewhere that you shouldn't use metallics on the wet palette. Is that a myth? The rumor is that you separate the pigments. The metallic flakes will separate from the what's the word? Medium in the paint, and it's not good for it. Yeah, I've never found it to be much of an issue ever. So no, I don't know. I would use it from the wet palette just fine. Annihilated Hope. What a grim name. Evening lads and gents, quick question. Any idea / rumors if the legacy factions will get more support if the old world sticks around? I have a rumor and a theory on that, and I think they will return. It's not that they're looking for support. They're waiting for there to be a distinctive plastic range of miniatures in both Age of Sigmar and left over to use in the old world. What that statement actually means is, like, think about the old world chaos models. They said they announced Warriors of Chaos, and they've given us Old World Chaos Knights, Old World Chaos Infantry, Old World Chosen, all the models. But as soon as there was newer versions of them in Age of Sigmar, they could retire them and use them in the Old World. With the launch of the new Skaven and the launch of the new Undead, i.e. the ones I'm building now, both of their plastic ranges have been completely replaced for Age of Sigmar. So they have a whole new shiny range that even Age of Sigmar, and the old retired plastics can be used for Warhammer the Old World. So I think after Cathay, the next thing we will get is the return of Skaven and the return of Vampire Counts. That's my guess. It doesn't separate, but not enough if it matters within a paint session. Just don't let it near other regular paints on the wet palette or seep into your sponge. The big Bombard General. Yeah. Quoting boss now, that's okay. For a laser, cut another base with a hole in the middle and glue that square to the bottom of the... Yeah, the model's going to be like this thick, so... I know what you're saying, I'm just not going to do that. I'd say some of the round head dry brushes, not necessarily artist opus, but maybe some cheap ones from Temu. Does anyone have any good suggestions for a brush for stippling? I've been using my mid-priced dry brush ones, which are... I like the artist opus ones. They are expensive, but they do what they're supposed to. Like they're designed for that kind of stippling. I found like the Army Painter ones are too soft. And makeup brushes are too soft as well. When you stipple, you need a little bit of... Sorry for punching the microphone there. You need a little bit of tension. So when you're actually stippling with it, you buzz off. The brushes aren't just the brushes aren't just splaying out or bending out. You need that stiffness. But that's just me. Yeah, and I found if you take care of them, they last. So I don't know. I haven't retired a single artist opus dry brush yet. Not a one. Savage Orcs will be cool. Okay, because I watched a vid a few days ago which brought up the thought that if they come back, they will change, like Skaven, all Pestilence, because there's no real ones for Age of Sigmar. I don't think so. I think, like I said, think about the ranges. Like, I thought about it when the new Skaven got released for Age of Sigmar, right? I didn't think clan rats needed to be made new, because I thought the old clan rats, which were plastic, were beautiful, and I still stand by that. They're gorgeous, but they replaced them. They replaced storm vermin. They had plastic storm vermin. They've replaced it with new storm vermin. So like every kit that you need for the old world has been retired now. So they'll just mop up those plastic kits. Warp Lightning Cannon, Doom Wheel, Screaming Bell. All those aren't in Age of Sigmar anymore. So those retired kits will be used for old world. And yeah, I think it's a stupid thing that they're doing because they're trying to separate the sales. Like, the CEO or the bosses or whatever, they need to see what money is being spent in Warhammer the Old World. So they need to have separate kits. People are buying those. That means the Old World success, right? It's stupid because anyone with any common sense will just buy the new ones and just put them on square bases. What I think they should have done is have them packaged twice. So for instance, take beautiful new Skaven Clan Rats. Very simple kit, right? You have 2 boxes for them, same models in each, but one comes with square bases and one comes with circle. One has Warhammer the Old World logos on it. One has Age of Sigmar. You're going to buy the one that suits your game system, so they'll know which one is being sold and where the sale's going to go. Like, I think they're just not smart. I refuse Temu. Building and prepping Marvel Crisis Protocol minis is a nice little side project. I love the She-Hulk video you did ages ago, but I guess the algorithm didn't like it as much. No, they didn't. I did the Hulk as well. I prefer the Hulk video I did. I used the Hataki paints for that, like these crazy paints, and I loved how the Hulk turned out. He was awesome to paint. I did cut down some makeup brushes to prevent them splaying, and that was a good sub for dry brushing, stippling before I brought, yeah. Doom Wheel. Absolutely fair, Army Painter. Do some, if you can find those, as per, yes. How dare you apply logic to GW sales structures? I'm sorry, they absolutely need to. I bought a lot of the AO Age of Sigmar last year, 3,000 points, fully old world gobbos out of AOS model. Yeah, I have 2 sides of the new Vermintide box set. For Skaven, they're all going on square bases and they're all going to be used. They would be done sooner because I really like Skaven, but I just did a commission for painting 80 clan rats, and I can't look at another clan rat for another little while yet. With your idea for the Skaven, you really should work for Games Workshop. I think you'd do good there. Thanks, buddy. I think so too, right? Right. Oh, dearie me. All right, there's 71 people in the chat. I presume you didn't come around to hear me yammer about my mad ramblings, and I'm sure you just want to see me cut out war dollies and start gluing them to bases, so that's what I'll do. That would be a real bummer, to be honest, since I play Skaven and plan on Vampire. Wait, what's the bummer? But wouldn't they play of Lizardmen in Legacy contradicted? They got a new range right before the Old World launch. Don't want to argue, just scared about my little rats. I don't think all of the Lizardmen have been redone yet, though, have they? Yeah, we don't have new skinks. Basic skinks. They don't have any retired skinks. So until they get redone, what else? There's other things. There's Stegodon. Did they redo a Stegodon? No. So there's no... You know what I mean? There's the Bastiladon that's still used. So their monsters need to be replaced and retired in order for them to be pushed on to... Like, think about it. With your vampire counts, they just gave you a new Vampire Lord on Zombie Dragon. They already had a Vampire Lord on Zombie Dragon in plastic. That was quite a nice kit, to be honest. So... The new one is for Age of Sigmar. The old one will cook the old world. We're never going back to work for GW's lot now. It's true. That's true, Alron. We mad ramble at each other, and that's why we're friends. Cheers, just opened mine as well. More tank questions. Painting Marines with contrast. Painting tank with normal paints. How maintain consistency? Weathering, usually. But I also usually find that it doesn't matter that much. Like, you're not going to be so far afield that they won't look normal next to each other. Do you know what I mean? Like, hold on. Where is that tank? Like, I know it's... Like, this was painted with contrast, and then I just weathered it and chipped it and stuff, and I just made it work. I know it's a bit messy, and a lot of people say I overdid it with the dust, but why do bits keep falling off? I just imagine a tank driving across like no man's land and fire would just be filthy. So I like tanks being filthy. I also did the Dreadnought sim. Where's the first Dreadnought I did? There it is. Mirror to me, you normal. Oh, I'm gonna break everything. Look, he was painted with contrast paint. Contrast paint. He worked out fine. I just finished. I'm working on the last model for one of my commissions, which is the Lionel Johnson. But the second last model I did for the guy was a Dreadnought, and that was contrast as well. Contrast, tidied it up, layered it up afterwards, weathered it, added transfers and stuff. So I like it. I like it a lot. Is it Yammer or Yammer? Could be a silent H. It's a Whammer. I stipple with two thin coats paints and use some colors for highlighting. Also matches nice. I'll take a look if I can get a hold of them here in Norway, because it's ridiculously expensive to get things shipped here. There's an import tax 25%, anything over. Check out my hobby place link and save yourself some cash, buddy. There you go. Wait, you're not in... I'm doing that thing again. Norway's not in the European Union. I keep forgetting. Sorry. So many other goddamn not, I'm gonna say Swedish countries. Not the word for where you're from in the world. Nordic countries, is that the right way of saying it? Well, next time I'm summoned to head office, I can smuggle you some. You're near Oslo, right? Annihilated Hope switching to Twitch to help partner up. Appreciate it, buddy. Appreciate it. It's ice, but did you enjoy using the contrast paints on flat panels? No. No, I can't lie. I just proved the point that you can, because you don't need an airbrush. But I prefer airbrushing up tanks. I prefer stippling tanks. Stippling tanks is great. It's great fun. You get great results. Norway has a trade contract with the EU. Okay. Does that mean you still pay crazy tariffs? Scandinavian countries is probably what I meant to say, isn't it? Yeah. AOS Chaos Lord is Reeboks and also Old World Champion of Chaos. See, that's what I'm saying. Comes around base. One with a square is the word you're looking for. It is indeed, buddy. Thank you very much. I think Norway is in Europe. European Free Trade Association. So yeah, if that's true, then you can use the My Hobby Place link. Shop from them. Save yourself some cash. Get it shipped out to you. Okay, I really need to start. I need to start cooting out parts. Like I said at the end of the last stream, I'm going to be cutting out these 3 at a time. I'm just going to be following the, if you know what I mean. If you understand what I mean. So I'll be making this guy 3 times. I'll be making this guy 3 times, and then that guy 3 times until I've gotten through all the sprues. And we are ready to rock and roll. Are you my knife? Grazie, grazie. Where's my clippers? There is my clippers. There she blows. You guys very quickly want to see what I did today? So I took this model. So this is the Sergeant model from the Terminator Squad from the Leviathan box set. Well, now the new. In the end of every video, buddy, there's most of the most recent videos. There's links to like affiliate stores. So if you're part of the United Kingdom, you use the Element Games link. And if you're in Europe or European Free Trade Union, use the My Hobby Place link. And then I think they're French based. But they do like 20% off like hobby products and stuff. They do really good deals. And if you use my link to get to their website and purchase stuff, we get a little bit of a kickback. So it's really nice. So yeah, this is the Terminator dude. And I, using the new Grey Tide Studio Terminator parts, have made this guy into this guy. So these are the same model, would you believe? Would you believe? Yeah, they're the 3 stores that we are currently partnered with for bits and pieces. I think Norway is European Free Trade. Yo, much love from Bakersfield, California. Love your contrast painting tutorial. You demand. Thank you very much, buddy. Appreciate that. This guy's painted with contrast too. Both these models are painted with contrast. But yeah, their new parts are pretty spectacular. The connection point for the Terminator cape is majestic. It's just a little clamp on either side of this, like below the power plant, and then you get this beautiful Terminator cape. Like, it's awesome. I decided to use 2 of the same shoulder pad, but I mirrored them because I really like the Baroque. I made a mistake with his friggin' sword. Like an idiot. When I was building, I didn't mention the video, but when I was building the guy, right, I accidentally pinched his sword up on this rock because I hadn't cured the model yet, so it was still soft, so it was bent like this. And without noticing, I cured it. So I cured the bloody blade bent. It's been annoying me all day. I can straighten it out, but then it slowly takes the form again and bends back. But yeah. So I now have a Terminator Ancient for my Black Templars army. I painted him in Sword Brethren colors because I felt that is the most fitting. But yeah. do 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 do. Chaos Lord or something. There's nothing I think that's specifically dual kit, is there? Once comes to round base, one square, Scandinavia, yes. The legendary Wavering Blade. You're goddamn right. The Bent Blade of Bethesda. Oh, God. Here we go. Right. Right, now I'm ready to start cooting out parts. So I'm going to be building the Green Man, which is B1, B2. 1, 2. One, 2, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Everybody in the club at the morning light. I should probably get some banging tunes going, but where's the number 5 arm? Why are you all the way down there, you jerk? Look what you did, you little jerk. And then I just need your head. Gracias. 16. Boink. So I just need to do that 3 times. But it is DLC, costs £12 for a loot crate, and there's a 0.0000001 chance of being in. That sounds about right. We have no music, I think. I'll be on hopefully around 9. So Laura's coming on at 9 to sing. That's what I took from that message. So we just have to hold strong until then. 22 more minutes, and then she'll come screaming in. Oh, 1, 2, 4, 5. 4, 5 all the way down here, and 16 for the top of your head. And the 3rd time. The glories of building monopose miniatures on a mass scale. How I hate it. Where's one gone from that one? Why is 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2? Oh, did I already cut it out and I'm just stupid? I did. I'm just stupid. How did cut out a part and immediately forgot that I cut it out? And 5. And 16 for the head. Okay. Clean up and glue together these 3, and then do that again 4 more times. Clean beheadings under massive jaws of earth. True. Psychedelic, if you have done it already, don't bother, but are you able to put 1 skelly each beside each other for scale comparisons? We would? What? If you were able to put 1 skelly each beside each other for scale comparisons, like the skeletons from this set, or like this to the old skeletons? Are you trying to see if the old skeletons are the right scale, or what are you asking me to do, buddy? Put an old world skeleton next to a new skeleton. I don't have any old world skeletons anymore. I generally don't think I have any. Like the other skeletons that I have are the new infantry from the old world, or Age of Sigmar. Oh, a Khemri skeleton. No, I can do that. The Khemri skeleton would be massive compared to these. They're about right. They're about right. Have any contrast tutorials on Emperor's Children? Lots. So far for Emperor's Children, we've done 2 Fulgrims. We've done a Lucius. We've done 3 or 4 different armor schemes. The Lord Cacophonist is the Patreon video this week. Just need to finish that off. So yeah, we've done 2 tank schemes in contrast. Or stippling for the tanks. So yeah, we've done a bunch of videos for the Emperor's Children, and we've done some Heresy Emperor's Children stuff as well. And the AOS model. These are AOS models. So these are the elite version of the basic infantry. So they should be exactly the same size, or else I'd be worried. Yeah, they're identical. They're just fancier. I'm hoping to score a Lord Cacophonist at Warhammer World on Saturday. Nice. Yeah, they're kind of the thing right now, aren't they? Here's that thing I was talking about like last week. Remember talking about the 3 different types of player? In that, like, I'll play as hard as I can when I'm playing the game, but I won't build the list or plan ahead to do, you know what I mean? So for instance, I know that the current thing to do with Emperor's Children is to have 3 Lord Cacophonists in your army. That is something that I would just never do. That has no interest in me. I feel like he's a nice character. You take 1 of them in your force, and that's fine. I'm still painting Eidolon. I am so slow these days. Oh no. Love those Patreon specials, Andy. Anyone not sub to your Patreon is really missing out. I agree, buddy. 63 people currently watching. They should all be signed up to my Patreon. I'm sure they all are. Right? Is the Black Knight set any good? From the pics it looks like old sculpts. Geez, no, not old sculpts at all. They're beautiful. I will be building them after these, but I don't think I'll get to them before the end of the stream. But no, they're not old sculpts at all. They're beautiful new sculpts. Look at them, for God's sake. Look at that horse's head. The rider and the shields and stuff. They're stunning. Stunning, I say. Yeah, if you're taking Noise Marines, you need a Cacophonist. I agree. 1 Cacophonist for 1 unit of Noise Marines. You can take 2 more units of Noise Marines, but I'm not taking 2 more Cacophonists. Being a patron, Andy insults you personally. Make the Emperor's Children in me love the word bear. Aw. If you're taking Noise Marines, yes. Since 3 years, nice. I am the Force Org chart needs to return to 40k con. Yeah, I don't know. Okay, wait. Is it the set GW has on the website? The Dio set? No. These are the new ones from the new The new box set that just came out. The new Soulblight Gravelords Army Set. This one. They're from this. They'll get released separately, obviously, by themselves soon. They're the new Black Knights. This is what I'm saying. There's new Black Knights. Therefore, the old ones, that's the multi-part kit, can now be used for the old world. As penance for missing part of the stream, here's a picture of H.G. Wells playing war game. Lol. We need a ton of work on merch, and we do. We just need to be better. We're just shit at merch. We're just shit at that part of the thing, setting up the website properly. Even Lord Raldoron gave us a really good head start, but we never finished, like, followed through with it. There's so much we want to do. And all of those things would obviously all bleed in and help support and grow. And like, one of the ultimate goals is to have a proper hobby space, like a proper studio. And yeah, until we get our proper shit together and get that organized, it's hard. You guys want battle reports back, man? Ain't gonna happen until the studio shows up. Check Discord, please. Oh, I'm in trouble. I don't think there's an email on it. Let me see. Was it via... Was it an Instagram message or was it a Great Tide? There it is. Sorry, I do have it. Sorry. Sorry. There you go. Yeah, we have a discount code for Grey Tide for a while. Whoops. Annihilated Hope, subscribe with Prime. Thank you so much for the Bezos bucks. Appreciate you guys. Now work I'm going to be on about the website. Please do, buddy. Please do. I really need it. It's just managing a website is not something I've ever really done before. It's a whole other beast. Like, I even want to have, in some way, shape, or form, like, I would love to have, like, a model. Like Rascal Town, the way she's so clever with that business. I would love to have something like that where you could just release a new model every 6 months or whatever. Just something interesting or intriguing, or the fact that she's managed to create her own IP, which doesn't contradict anything else. It's just such a good way of doing it. Next week we have a merch suggestion channel and a feedback will be great. Oh yeah. So what you're saying is everyone needs to be a patron so you can do more stuff to get more space for us to get a mediocre con. Yes, exactly. I was just keeping an eye on alternatives to Discord considering the change in CEO. There is just in case. That's a good idea. Yes, but it could happen to be a different place too. Sure, true, but you could definitely have a proper space would be amazing. Be unnecessary at this stage. Okay, everyone, subscribe to Patreon, please. Anyways, yes. This is what I'm doing too. Having 30 plus years of plastic and metal, I have enough undead vampire counts, Soulblight boxes to make 3 armies. Don't judge, please. Don't judge. Look at my back screen. It's just millions of unopened boxes. Just thousands upon thousands upon thousands of euros of models. Okay, nobody judges here. We judge if you don't have enough backlog. When the zombie apocalypse hits, I don't have to stop my hobby. You all scavenge for food. I'm scavenging for glue and spray. Okay, those are, I'm not going to glue them to bases yet, because these are 3 of the identical poses, and as I'm basing them, like I'm gluing them on so they rank up, I don't want to put 3 of the same and then 3 of the same and then 3 of the, you know what I mean? So I'll build them all, have them in a big pile, and then I'll make them all rank up and fit nicely next to each other and all that jazz. You people know what I'm saying. What about a blood red hat that says let's make painting mediocre again? You and Peachy should team up on models, create a series called Baldies. Well past judging here. Yeah, what about my modeling as mediocre? MMM hat. We all judge except me. No one judges you for having unbuilt models, only have built and painted word bearers. I will set Argyltal on you. Oh no, Argyltal. And he will watch Erebus play with you. Death of Smog, token A, not bad writer. Have you painted the new King? Sorry, oh, I read Krieg. King on shield bearers. I'm trying to decide if he needs sub-assembling. I haven't finished it. I don't even know when I started it, but it's here somewhere. And yes, it definitely... I think the rest of it is still on sprue, but yeah, the idea was for sure sub-assembling stuff, because it would be a nightmare to do together. These were all glued to bases, but they broke off. So yeah, the rest are somewhere. Oh. That killed me. What size will that unit be? 21. About multi-figure bases. 21 is the way I like some elite. Like this is an elite infantry unit because it's like Graveguard. So it'll be 7 by 3 ranks. By 2 or 3 ranks. You know what I mean? So 21. It's obviously the unit of 20 plus space for a character. So that's what I like to do. Wet Dream is for Squidmar to come by Ireland, not just stick to Sweden for their series where they help someone make a small hole in their pile of... I know, right? I thought about that when I was watching the video today. I see all these guys' piles. I'm like, pathetic. You guys would see a 20k Great Tide of Guard. Nice. Will trade models for beans. What do you need to get your basing up? I need those are rookie numbers. That's a lot of inventory with a simple store front. You could become Ireland's #1 independent GW stockist. I'm not selling my toys. They're mine. I don't have to worry about Trump's tariffs on G-dubs. My wife wants the 3rd bedroom back though. Ooh, time to build a 4th bedroom, I think. Thank you, but I am judging and grudging you a little for not finishing those poor dwarves. Their ancestry will cry. It's that whole thing I talked about where I don't like to be doing the same army as any of my my group of hobby friends. Like, you know what I mean? I like to, when they're doing it, it's their thing, and when I'm doing it, it's my you know what I mean? It's a whole thing. So Mr. Shabby was smashing dwarves out of it for the whole start of the old world return. He did thousands and thousands of points. So I had no interest in doing dwarves because that was at the time that was his thing. So I did Bretonians, and then I started my Dogs of War Army and so on and so forth. So yes, 14, 15, 17, 18. 14, 15, 17, 18. 14. Where's 17, 18? Why do you hide from me? 17. I drank some very good beer that I purchased with a fake ID. My name was Brian McGee. Where is 18? There it is. There she blows. 1. 14. 15. 18. 3. 17. Axelon is okay. It is okay. Squidmar walks in, looks at pile, and just busts out a 5-gallon drum of paint. All dark sea green for some reason. I really like today's one. It was a really nice model selection that they did. The full Blood Bowl box set and 2 Underworld Gang, so the guy could just start playing with some toys. I just thought that was awesome. It's a great choice. The models from that Blood Bowl set are stunning as well. La, da, 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 da. I'm done doing trolls now, so work away. Don't have to worry about tarps when you already have more models than you could realistically paint in a life. So you're actually getting through yours, though. Your thing is working, scarily enough. Surely your backlog is actually shrinking. Although I did see something in one of your recent videos, which is newer. Since you started this thing, I was like, oh, you're still buying. What was that? Kind of start on these Outriders tonight. Nice. Is the banner and the musician able to be built as not those kits? Yeah. I'm currently building the banner. So when you're building him, this is the model. So you can build a banner bearer as the banner bearer, as a hand weapon and shield, or as a great weapon. There's the champion, which is champion with hand weapon shield, champion with great weapon, not champion with hand weapon shield, not champion great weapon, and then there's the musician. Same exact idea. You can build a musician or hand weapon shield, great weapon. So yes, you're all good because it's the same sprue 5 times or 4 times. Thank you, but I'm yes. My friends point out that I have too many great figures. I look up a picture of your backdrop. It makes me shut up for about a week. So thank you for having a world record and great. Yeah, I got you, buddy. About 30% down. And that took you 2 years? I also found the entire Dark Imperium set that I didn't know I had. Just circle in the bin. Pretend you never found it. Move on, buddy. Three years for 30%? Man, you got this. You'll just be out of toys by the time you need to retire, and then you can start buying again. Sadly, time to go back to work. Can't wait to see the unit is complete. Yeah, I can't wait to see it just ranked up. It's just taking time, man. Because of all this yapping. Yabba dabba doo. The shields are quite tempting with their no give ground rule. In 7 years, I will have cleared the backlog and can buy an Arvis lighter to paint for fun. Lol. When you finish your backlog, I'll buy you an Arvis lighter, buddy. Don't you worry. Actually, no, you can't have anything for me. You complained so hard the last time I gave you something. The Green Knight. So much complaining. Technically, you're the only one yapping. We're typing. I think Tim yaps too. He does text to speech. That's why his speech always comes out so stupid, because it's Tim speaking. A mate of mine painted an entire chapter of Space Marines in about 2 weeks. An entire chapter? Like, I don't care how fast he is, okay? If he painted a chapter of Space Marines in 2 weeks, they look shit. There's no way to paint a chapter of Space Marines in any semblance of a nice... just, no. In my head, he spent 2 weeks ruining Space Marines. I'll give you a company in 2 weeks. That's doable. Did you mean to say company? And I'm filling up the merch ideas Discord chat with as many ideas I can think of. I currently have 3 ideas. Nice. What do you want me to stop and put a paintbrush down and type? Blows raspberries. They're Crimson Fist. They only like 5 left. Nice. 1,000 Marines in 2 weeks is ridiculous. Years, not weeks. That makes sense. Oh, you did say 2 years. I'm just stupid. I berated him for so long, and it's just me not reading correctly. I'm sorry. Oh, I shouldn't be allowed to speak. Oh, no. Ugh. God damn it. Oh, Andy, yeah. This new dwarf model is gorgeous. The Cathay range is going to just make you cry. It's gonna be unreal. What a project it's gonna be, though. Like, I'm gonna do one of everything for Cat Day first, and then I'm gonna write a list. I think that makes the most sense. Laura's supposed to be on singing by now. What, Space Cave and when? Yeah. Just visualize me with the Italian hand in front of me. About our conversation from earlier, do you think they would redo the Legacy first after Cat Day, or is there a chance Kislev will come first? I think they'll spread out the newer stuff. They don't have a lot of... Like, they don't have the same kind of resources that they have for 40k or Age of Sigmar, so creating a whole new army is going to take years. And I'm sure Kislev are most of the way there. I think they would pace themselves a little bit. So you might get 4 more older armies coming back. Then they might do Kislev or something like that. That's how I would imagine it. But that's just me. Video's uploading for the second time. Oh no. To be fair, it's the Empire Space Cave and already. Yeah. Here's an idea. Zorbazorb has a wall of Patreon models. Can someone design a baked bean on a trophy stand, and each patron gets a baked bean trophy sprayed in contrast at a different... I hate you. Like Zorp, but mediocre. Same thing, no? Oh. Picking a metallic silver color scheme that has multiple shades from Tamiya to spray paint does make the base coating of the bulk of the armor fairly quick, though, when they're directionally sprayed. Using Tamiya paint is just brave. This is just a pile on a shelf. Yeah. I was doing Lego Ninjago ride with the kid yesterday and was planning a paint scheme for Cat Day. Nice. I always said if I never got into Warhammer, I would still have that collecting gene, and I would probably be a lot more video game stuff, retro consoles and stuff, and then it would also be Lego. I think my Lego focus would be Ninjago. I just love all those kits. They're amazing. The Dwarf Lord with Shield Bearers, the new plastic kit. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Yes, yes, yes. So that's 6 built out of the 15 that I need to build. Man, I'm just going so slow. I blame you guys. I've got to wreck this one because I didn't take that. God damn it. Okay, that's 6 done. I'd like to... You should come over and play in my retro console. See, this is what I'm saying. It's just such a cool thing Like, I don't go that retro. I'm not like, because my first console were PlayStation 1 and Nintendo 64. So anything before that, I don't really have a feeling for. But from then on, I would do it, We can 3D scan Annie's face, put them on a Krieg Commissar, and have him stand on a field of baked beans. There's 2 Illuminators and a Superstar Destroyer. Jesus Christ. That is an absurd amount of work for the most mediocre payoff. I'd like a Venator, but space for the thing is insanely well, I think if I'm correct with the Venator and the Star Destroyer, they're internally constructed with weight-bearing pieces. So you can literally hang the whole kit from a ceiling. I'd have a stroke every time I walked under it, but I think that's a true fact. So, yeah. Base move for things insane and costing, yeah. The other world needs more evil armies before there is more good armies. Ugh. Because the majority of the evil ones are well, yeah. That's why I think Skaven and Undead would be good coming back. Andy, what would you do while looking at your Lego is between you and God? The new, smaller Superstar Destroyer is what I mean. Yeah. Way to make the big dirigible easier might be to make it red. Wait, what? I don't know what you mean. 24, 23, 23, 24, 26, 27. Blech. Okay. 23 and 24. Probably press that little button to make it so it doesn't turn off again. 24, 23, 26 and 27. 27, where are you? Thank you. And then the optional headdress should be 25. Dark Elves are the most likely evil faction according to the rulebook. Until their Age of Sigmar range gets redone. They get their Malekith Elves and stuff like that. When they get done and that range gets replaced, then absolutely it'll return. But right now the entire faction is being used for Age of Sigmar. I put my Tyranid updated whip channel. I shall have a look. Quest Wars from Forge World. Yeah. I mean, I wouldn't mind that either. I never bought any of them, so. They'd be an interesting faction to bring back in. But would they do them for Forge World, or would they redo them as like a proper, like redo in plastic? And like I could see that being one of the more crazy armies they bring back proper. Discord chat was a bit of imp. Both Gabe and Vapor would make it happy if they came back, because then I wouldn't have to listen to one of my friends complain about them not being one of the armies. Just tell them to shut up. No one likes a whinger. To be honest, I can see them doing a Beastman. What? Finally ready to come on. All right, let's make this happen. This and then this and then no, my headphones are not going on. We're just gonna try it like we did last week when my headphones died, because my headphones are knackered. They're actually not that old either, and they're like Razer. No, they're not Razer. They're Sonic. Who the fuck? Sonic? I don't know. They were good, but now they die really fast. Their battery has just knackered itself. Hello?
Hello?
I can hear you. Why can't I can see you?
Yes. Is it working?
I think it might be.
Really not used to it working first time every time. Well, not every time. Last week I messed up. Was that last week? I don't know.
Who knows? Let's just forget all those times it didn't work and pretend they never happened. Is it okay for everybody else? No one's getting her twice. Yeah, she's very echoey. I think that's just because she's loud. Let me just turn this. Go again?
Hello? Hello, hello, hello.
Yeah. I think my desktop audio is just too high.
Is it any better?
Yeah, it was me. That's better. Yeah, it was me. It was me. It's just too loud.
Okay. Can't we just yeet Age of Sigmar in the sea and get our fantasy factions back? They're all coming back.
Like, you say that, but, like, no. You do have to remember that the old world didn't make any money when it was being sold. That's why it was cancelled.
Warhammer Fantasy, yeah. Yeah, like, yeah, there's definitely a lot of... I didn't get it at the time, but, like, never really wanted. But, because you didn't get it at the time, then that's why I went. Ninjago Ride had a lot of red lanterns. Picture in general where your high elves might be easier to paint than the paper look. Yeah, Sinclair, the paper look for the new Sky Lantern, which is why everyone wants to make it into a lamp, it does look difficult. Not difficult, just something that one could sink too much time into. Dark elves are incredibly incongruous. I haven't practiced talking enough today. In Cities of Sigmar now, surely not there long enough. Even if they don't get a new range, can't see them lasting a year where they are.
Incredibly
They
incongruous. Yeah, they're crapping. They just don't work. They're not made for that. The range isn't made for that, and they don't care. Like I said, there's Malekith is coming back, and Malekith is melded with his dragon. So it's going to be a big freaking dragon dark elf army. That will be the Age of Sigmar ones. And then all the normal rank and file models will become Old World again, where they belong.
Lead Belcher is one coat. No.
I find it one coat, yeah. You've just
from home you should try mixing Vallejo model air aluminium with AK 3rd gen black 2:1 ratio. It makes for a great one coat lead belcher. It's amazing.
Like, I like how lead belcher goes on, and you've just added way more steps to my painting.
Yeah. Don't eat AOS. It is my daughter's gateway drug because turtles. Yes. You do need to gather the Leviathan at some time, but yes, probably not your first model. Still a little echo. I'm sorry. Sink too much time into this hobby? Like, if you're spending that much time on something, that means and then you don't get to play because you're painting too much, like, is my problem. Not painting too much, stuck on the research point too much, then yeah, it's a problem. I think 40k 11th edition will be Jakari and White Scars. Explain yourself, boy. Why do you think that? Why White Scars? Oh, my crew. LGW failed it. Current GW on steroids will make it work. Only you people buy it.
I don't know. They're not making it work with Age of Sigmar right now.
Yeah, GW was struggling on every front. Lead Belcher has been relegated for me. Iron Warrior's base is king.
Iron Warriors are pretty good, yeah. I still just like Lead Belcher though.
It's just a good classic silver. Like the others have a different vibe. Now, 11th edition will be Night Lords versus White Scars. So that's two people thinking White Scars. Why are people thinking White Scars?
I don't know why people
They're setting up for a return.
White Scars as an option. That's just not going to happen.
Yeah. I do think they're setting up 11th for the return of a Primarch. Will be Scars or Salamanders. My money is on Vulcan. Purity is a money thing. Scars, they sell bikes. Salamanders, they sell everything.
Salamanders would make more sense to me.
Shadowmancer, there's a great alternative to Lead Belcher in Darkstar Molten Metals. That range of metallics is the best out there. I completely agree.
Wouldn't know.
Yep, because I stole them. Ultramarines versus Orcs is likely. 11th edition is going to be Ultramarines.
Nah.
It will never be White Scars. They are the second least popular chapter after Iron Hands. Okay, so Jakari, because they haven't... Am I saying that right, or am I saying it like Jakari, Game of Thrones right. thing? Yeah. Because they haven't had a big range refresh for 17 years. Their models are starting to look very dated, and they're a very cool army. Fulgrim return usually balanced with a Primarch return. Jagatai is in the webway, which is where the Jakari kick about. Imagine getting a starter set with a Primarch. No.
Preposterous.
Obviously, whatever army is in the box, Ultramarines will need to get 10 new captain models to compensate the Ultramarines player before they rage quit. They've already
the armies
rage
in the starter set
quit.
are going to be army specific.
Yeah,
they'll be painted like White Scars or painted like Salamanders, but they won't have any iconography, and you'll paint them whichever way you want.
GW don't tend to put the box armies towards the end of an edition. Darkstar is good. Vallejo make good metallics. I can't remember if I've tried Vallejo metallics.
I don't think I have either.
You were talking about Vallejo, I think, on Tuesday's stream. I'm not that impressed with some of their game colors. Like, I don't think you can pick up any of their paints and be like, this will give you the same effect as the other color will, which I think is a problem.
Yeah, a couple of years ago, I would have thought they were the be all and end all. It's the only paint everyone ever talked about was Vallejo, but that seems to have fallen off quite considerably these days.
Yeah, I think other people have raised their standards now. It's like, Now they're not the standout one anymore, maybe. The Nemesis Claw is a preview.
The Nemesis Claw is a preview to Night Lords? I don't think so.
I think Dark Elder. Sorry.
No, I was just gonna say I just knew gonna repeat myself.
I think Dark Elder could be in a death spiral. Few fans because the range is old. Range updates limited because few fans. Sorry.
The range is beautiful. What are you talking about? Like, nothing that's currently exists for Dark Eldar would be replaced by new Dark Eldar. They don't need new warriors or new witches or new... they're all perfect. Like, I remember the original articles and stuff about Jez Goodwin when he was talking about designing these, where he was fed up with armies being constantly redone. So the whole point of the Dark Eldar range was to do them once and for all. So they wouldn't need to be redone. You just add to them the next time they're out. So saying the range is old doesn't make any sense.
Vallejo metal color silver is kind of magic if you want a bright silver to layer color. Oh, okay. So see that? Yes, and also it's annoying that that's just your base if you want to do things. They have whole units that have no models. Are you talking about the dinosaurs? Because I've heard rumors about dinosaurs. Is that... Am I doing... Hello?
You're confusing Dark Eldar with Exodite Eldar.
Thank you. There we go. That's why I trailed off, because I was like, wait a minute, that doesn't make any sense. Back to... sorry, I missed so much here. There's also some information regarding Dorn's return kicking around. If when they bring back the old world undead, I hope they move away from vampire accounts and go for more necromancer and White King themed army book to cover the whole old world, not just Sylvania and the Sandy Lands.
And I'm like kind of not with you and kind of with you. I think they should do all of them. I think they should go to the old Bloodlines book. That was the best version of vampire accounts that existed, where when you started your army you chose what bloodline you followed, whether you want to be the Varden Karstein line or the Blood Dragon line or the Khemri, like all. It was so cool, and that dictated how your army worked and units that you took, and so it was so cool.
Jagathai is cooler than Vulcan, in my opinion.
No, he's not. Well, maybe. He was very good when he was fighting Mortarion in that book. He was incredible.
If you can pick any two armies to be in a starter set just for pure fun, what would they be? Doesn't have to be Space Marines.
I always wanted Imperial Guard to be the defenders of the Imperium. So like Acadians, for instance, just like you do Catachans or whatever. But I just like the stalwart Acadians. I always wanted, because obviously, remember, I worked in a store, Games Workshop store, for 15 years, and I always liked the idea of telling a really cool story when you like ran a beginner through a game. I always wanted to have the story of like the kid not knowing anything about what's going on. So he walks up to the table and he sees normal men, Cadians, men and women, shoulder to shoulder in the trenches, defending.
Just normal men.
Sure enough. Someone's got to make the tea. So they're all doing that. They're all firing and they're all doing awesome. And they're fighting Chaos Marines or Chaos whatever. Or Chaos Demons or Orcs. Something crazy that like... And the idea is that the guardsmen slowly get pushed back and pushed back and pushed back. And the kid starts to feel a little bit more defeated and a little bit more defeated and a little bit more defeated. And then you go, okay, now your reinforcements come in. And he goes, what are you talking about? And then you smash a drop pod into the table. And 10 Space Marines get out. And he gets to see for the first time what a Space Marine can do. And from him getting pushed back and pushed back and pushed back, from these 10 Marines just wiping the board clear. And then that kid just drooling over Space Marines for the rest of the time. I've always wanted that. So 10 Space Marines, a drop pod, and a guard army, please. That's what I want in my starter set.
I was trying to say just innocent men, and I misquoted, and then you took it as a woman joke, I think.
Well, it was a safe bet.
I mean, fair, but there's an amazing new Titan Forge range for Vampire Coast. I have to leave and check that out right now. Very tempted to do it as a proxy army for something. Could you just do it as vampire counts?
Probably.
Or are you just gonna wait till we get Vampire Coast?
Emotionally traumatized people into playing Space Marines. It's the 41st millennium, buddy. If you're not emotionally traumatized, you're not doing it properly.
See, I would be like, nah, I wouldn't do that. Space Marines are not the heroes for me. Thousand Suns versus Word Bearers. No reason, just would make me very happy. Tau v Orcs would make a great asymmetrical starter set.
I would like to see Tau in a starter set.
Would you get two Xenos things together? Or
no, the Imperium has to fight against him, so Guard via Tau army would be really cool.
Xenos being the heroes. Be the bad guy, I suppose, yeah. Yes, please. Bloodlines make sense for arcane journals. They could easily sell 2 to 3 journals this way. For the vampires.
I think they would all be in one journal, but yeah.
It'd be a bigger journal, yeah.
It wouldn't even need to be a big. There's not very much information.
It would. No, because we need all the art for the different bloodlines.
Still, I think an arcane journal
Yeah,
would cover it.
No, I want a coffee table book. Lord Commander Joe, Andy, are there any washes or shades you would put over Flesh Terror's red contrast to give it a richer blood red color? Flesh Terror's contrast is the best base color out of the 3 red contrasts, but I would like to make it just a little bit more vibrant.
Vibrant?
Aye.
Like, if you wanted Flesh Tear's red to be more vibrant, I would say use Blood Angel's red instead. Like, I don't know, give it a go with Berserker Bloodshade over the top of it. I don't know. The word vibrant doesn't come to mind, though, with that. It's
No,
Jungle
wouldn't
Fighting
make it-
Guard versus Eldar Dino Riders. You'd sell 1 million copies, man. You'd bankrupt the rest of the world. So let's just take that pornography off of the screen. Delete that comment. People can't be reading that. That's not okay.
I could just block them.
Just block them. You can't be making comments like that. That's just not okay.
Has the flavor says flesh wash. Looks good on it.
Flesh wash would look good. It's just, I don't know whether it would, like you said, I don't know.
I know it's not 40k, but nothing looks more iconic than Orcs v Empire.
It's true.
With Berserker Bloodshade. But if you're... If with... You were messing up your words earlier too. I was listening when I was editing. That's probably what messes me up. I'm editing and listening to you on stream and then correcting what you're saying, and then I have to try and talk. Lord Commander Joe, are you like a richer blood red? Maybe if you explain that part more, like what you're going for more? The dark muted red with bloodshade. No. Mediocre Hobbies. Hey guys, do you know if the people of Ireland... We do indeed.
Do we know the people of Ireland? We are familiar with them.
Do we know if the people of Ireland?
Oh yeah, they do.
Ah. Many, many years. As long as it's Andy's fault, somehow it's probably true. Indeed.
But that was Medusa.
Nope, Revenant.
You sack of shit.
Mordian Guard starter army against Raging Kroot, maybe.
I don't want Mordians. They're a bit too Marines, like U.S. Marines in dress. That design is just it's a bit on the nose right now.
Typhus, the showcase isn't today. The month is just ending weirdly, so we're giving it another week because otherwise it's too short. Tim, I had a weird dream that Games Workshop said they were going to do the new Old World edition and they were going to release campaigns books to go with it. What campaign setting do you think would be the first one done for the Old World?
In that timeline,
what campaign setting?
One of the Vampire Wars is now, isn't it? Or was the Vampire Wars over already? I think doing a proper Lustria campaign would be really cool to reintroduce Lizardmen.
Mediocre Hobbies. Do you know the people of Ireland honour Anzac Day? We do not.
What are we talking about?
It's in memoriam of like Australians and New Zealanders, as far as I know. We wouldn't have like a day of remembrance or anything. Is that what you're asking? How about Tau Shadow Sun versus Tau Fireside as a way to get Uber Tau Army? Yes.
Like a ridiculous concept and it will never happen. I'm game.
I like Mordians in the Dawn of Fire series. Kesh is brilliant.
Kesh is amazing. She's so cool.
I really like the story of Armageddon. Well, what's the differences to Krieg model-wise? They look very similar to me.
What? Krieg models look different to what?
Is Armageddon Imperial Guard? Is that what they're asking?
Depends on which Armageddon war you're talking about, but yeah, it's the first one is Demons v Grey Knights and Space Wolves, and it's Angron and Chaos Corn Demons versus Grey Knights and Space Wolves. And
he's added Steel Legion.
Yeah, the second two wars are everything against Gazgul, so orcs and Space Marines and Guards, en masse fighting Gazgul and his bajillion orcs.
Are you asking if Steel Legion and Krieg, like what the differences are there?
So originally the guy who created Krieg, it was just an army he created. Like he wrote some backstory, and the models he used were Steel Legion. And then they made them an official thing and made them like the Forge World Army, so that's why they're so similar. The original Kriegsmen were just Steel Legion models painted differently. If that helps.
I think there will be a campaign book after Cathay is released, or possibly at the same time.
I'm okay with that. Getting back my tile sections on Mighty Empires and.
Vampire Wars are over. I thought it'd be all about the three empires and the resulting civil war.
That would be cool. Skaven Uprising would be cool as well.
First three-sided starter box: Rebel Kroot versus Tau Sept versus Tau Shadow Sun. Slaps Hood. You can fit so many Tau in the starter set. Nice. You all saw the new, what is it, a warband on Monday for the Knives of the crow lady. I can't remember what it's called. What's it called?
Crone people? I don't know. The Dark Eldar. Sorry, the Dark Elf warband for Underworlds.
Is it Underworlds?
Was it not Underworlds?
I don't know.
Uncle Adam thinks Warcry is over.
Uncle Adam thinks Warcry is over.
Warcry was one of his favorite games by Games Workshop, and he made a video today being like we haven't heard anything. There was no reveals at Adepticon and we haven't had a new thing for Warcry in months and months and months, like 9 months or something. They haven't talked about it. Considering the fucking pace they were releasing stuff.
Yeah, it's true. And we were it was like trying to keep up with Kill Team. It was insane. Interesting. Catch you later, alligators. Goodbye, Hammer.
In a while.
See you on Tuesday, hopefully. I can't think of any animals. I know there's one with a butterfly, but it's goodbye butterfly or something. I don't know. That just sounds silly. Just anyway. Thank you, James C, for subscribing. I don't know if you're here or on YouTube. As soon as I posted that video tonight, we lost 2 subscribers. So something went wrong.
People are just assholes.
No man, if we're doing 3 armies in a box, then it's dwarves v goblins v Skaven. They are all quite tiny. They would fit quite well.
And the campaign will be based in the Misty Mountains. Not the Misty Mountains, the Calgary Peaks. Stupid wrong fantasy mountain range.
So the Anzac Day is the day we honour the fallen of every conflict Australians and New Zealanders have fought in. It was first honoured on the 25th of April 1915. Okay.
So it's like Memorial Day?
So
is
tomorrow.
That like a way of comparing? Is that what Memorial Day is as well?
Yeah, but we wouldn't have Easter Sunday. You could wear lilies for but that was more to do with, we won't get into why the Irish people died. But yeah, we don't really have an equivalent for Ireland. So is it like a national holiday? Wow, a Karak 8 Peaks box would be amazing.
It would be so good.
Thank you, Lord Raldron, for 20 subs.
Did you give 20 gifted subs, you absolute lunatic?
That is a lot of subs, thank you.
He's hating that he's in second place, man. It's driving him mad.
Yeah, no.
345 gifted to the channel.
Yeah, if anyone else's Twitch got messed up, I thought it was just me.
Yeah, it broke mine. Appreciate you, buddy.
Professor Pate says Anzac Day is based on the Battle of Gallipoli. Gallipoli. This is another thing where I read too much and I don't talk. Andy?
What?
Am I saying the name of that place right on Twitch?
Which one's Twitch? I can't see. Everything is broken. Based in the Battle of Gallipoli?
Okay, I thought it was just me not like reading history stuff and not listening to anyone talk about it. Equivalent would be Remembrance Sunday in the UK. Yes, for you people. Not for the Irish. Although obviously we fought in your war too. Didn't all volunteer, but you know, anyway. If there was an 8 peak setting, I might have to track down a Battle for Skull Pass box. Yes. Gallipoli. Gallipoli? Gallipoli. Okay. It is based on the Battle of... Okay. I'm going to look up afterwards because I don't think that's what I thought it was.
Okay, I was super slow at building, but then Laura came on and did the reading, and now all the skeletons are built. So you should be the far right one. So I need one to sit
That's
here.
what I'm good for. Distraction! There is a really good film with a young Mel Gibson called Gallipoli. No, I'm sorry. Gallipoli. I like that there's a professor correcting me. Like, that feels fine. Gallipoli. Any other words you want me to say? If anyone got a gifted sub there, if you send me a message, which is called a whisper on Twitch, then you can get the link to our Discord. We have Remembrance Day on the 11th of November and Anzac Day. Yes, it's a national holiday. See, we wouldn't do Remembrance Day here. Like, they all wear poppies in the UK, but we wouldn't. Gallipoli. I'm still saying it wrong. It's on the Turkish coast. It was during World War One. Okay. So what I heard, Sandy was struggling until Laura swooped in to save the day. Not all heroes wear capes.
She has a cape. What are you talking about?
I have several capes. I have another cape on the way. I need help again, Andy, with the third last comment on Twitch.
Fuck you guys.
Don't be cursing. There might be children watching. Anzac Day is a uniquely New Zealand, Australian, and Turkish thing. Oh no, that was... Australian Day is in January. I remember celebrating Australian Day with Australians before, but that wasn't a celebration. That was... Never mind, sorry. This is great timing. I just got the Soulblight Spearhead box. Definitely thinking about converting to vampire accounts. Yes, it's working out really well so far. There's a couple of bases on... Do you have your White King near you, Andy?
The one I painted?
Yeah. The like scenic bases that you get with Age of Sigmar don't always work, but you can do it as a... Could you do him as a unifiller, by the way? The White King?
No. But yeah, why would you want to do it with a unifiller?
To keep the base.
Oh, yeah, sure. You'd have to have a pretty big unit for it to make, like, it's an 80mm round base. Like, it would be huge. Like, here, hold on. Here.
But if, like,
Here's
for
his
someone
base.
who wanted to keep some of it.
Yeah. Do you know what I mean? So, he would, like, displace, like, 9 dudes. So, it would have to be, like, you know, like a block of 40 or something, maybe that would be okay, but anything less than it would be a bit weird.
Yeah, okay, that's fair. It was gifted a sub where I'm gonna just... If you right-click, Professor Pate, if you right-click on my name, and then you should see Send Whisper. Because I would just send it to you, but you have block whispers from strangers in your privacy settings, so I can't start the conversation. Is it this Saturday that the send a private message? Like, if you click on my name, and then it should come up like a little box and then it says whisper. Is it this Saturday everyone is getting the rest of the Emperor's Children?
Maybe.
Like they're the ones coming out on the shelves?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, that's why he's looking for the Lord Cacophonist in Warhammer World this weekend.
Yeah, I can message you now. It was last Saturday in Germany. Maybe I'm mixed up then. It's always confusing when it's like 2 drops, because then I can never remember when it is. Did you get the link, Professor Pate? What do you like to build more, Andy? Fixed kits like the one you're doing, or the old world kits where you can mix and match as much as you like?
I prefer the process of constructing the old mix and match ones, but I prefer the result of these ones. I think the models at the end are way nicer in these kind of formations.
More dynamic.
Yeah, they're doing what they're supposed to do, and they look friggin' sexy doing it.
Fighting.
Fighting around
Winston.
the world. Taga.
Winston Churchill, First Lord of the Admiralty ATT, had the bright idea to try and open a second front and a way to Constantinople, and launched what was the largest amphibious assault until D-Day. Hello, Andy. How was Adepticon, and will you be going again?
Yes, I will 100% be attending Adepticon again. It was really good. It was just really long, and I need to plan my time better while I'm there. Make sure I'm signed up to some classes and stuff like that.
And offer some classes too.
Yeah, I want to try and run some next time. Okay.
The things from Salute, the panel, should be up next week. Hobby Heroes panel. If anyone wants to watch that, it was quite a good panel actually. Surprisingly enough.
Thanks to me.
Sure. Steel Wargaming was very good. Damn, what was his name? Storm of Steel Wargaming was very funny, I found on the panel. Good to hear. I'd love to meet you. Oh, about to play Oblivion. Nice. With your knowledge now, would you visit Adepticon or Warhammer World if you could only do one?
That's two totally different, like, that's two very different things to do. like I've been into Warhammer World like 100 times. Like it's a very chill, like I'm not going to Warhammer World I'm going to Warhammer World in like a month with a group of my friends to just play games for a few days. It's Mr. Shabby's 40th birthday and we're all going over and bringing armies and having fun, but like I can't compare those two at all. Would I rather?
Like Warhammer World is like a big museum that you can also play games at, and then Adepticon is a convention of lots of different games. It is, but if you had to choose as a first time experience,
Why? What do you mean?
if you like Warhammer World
You
would
have
be
to go to
my
Warhammer World. Every hobbyist needs to
yeah.
make their pilgrimage to Warhammer World. Like all my friends could just chill out here for a few days and play games, but we don't. We're going to Warhammer World to play. And every major event we've ever done, birthdays and stuff, it's always Warhammer World we go. Because it's what we like.
Bye, Scott. Scott says, have a good. Yeah.
Sorry, what was that?
Yeah, I don't know.
Scott, okay, have a good stream, guys. I'm out.
That is literally exactly what I said. My God.
How rude.
How big is Adepticon? How much people?
10,000
For me,
people.
It would be important where there would be less people cramped in my personal space. I saw like videos of Adepticons, like if you're not in the trade area, like there's a lot of space to spread out.
Loads of room. If you want to chill out and sit down, you'll find chairs and all sorts of loads and loads of room. Like I said, even the trade area, which is kind of busy, wasn't too bad to stroll around in. Here is a unit of 20 skeletons all ranked up, looking pretty gnarly and terrifying, and
Nice.
all their spears are out and terrifying and up for a fight.
I'm gonna take a picture of that and put it on Reddit later. Tuesday will be my first trip to Warhammer World. Nice. Are you gonna vlog? You gonna do a live stream? I think Warhammer World is like Mecca. Adepticon is like Disneyland. Not bad. I've been to Warhammer World and seen like 4 other people. It depends on the day, it depends on the events, it depends on what's going on. Wait, are these the new skeletons? These are the skeletons from the Deathrattle Army Set for Soulblight Gravelords.
Yeah, I'm just trying to.
He is using them
ways to rank them up now.
for the build world.
Can I make these work like this the way I want to? I really like the pointingness of them all. You were next to yourself a minute ago, so copy yourself on. Why won't you go?
We do have a raid suggestion.
What time is it? Oh shit.
Yeah. If you do go to classes, try and get to Ambrose Coddington's one. That has to be a made-up name.
I know I'm cheating
Can't
because
remember.
the command is in the 2nd rank, or at least the champion, but I just really like all the spears on the outside.
Oh, I've heard of the
like
bug.
A porcupine all the way around. They're all pointing out. That's so cool.
I want the new Skelly horses. I want all of it.
Yeah, the Skelly horses are next to build. Everything else from the box set is now built. And by everything I mean that guy and these. What is our raid suggestion?
Your raid suggestion is
Stellar Mass Jack.
Yep.
Have we ever raided Stellar Mass Jack before?
Yeah, to go take care of my little Superman curl that I've had all stream.
Stellar Man. Stellar Mass Jack.
Professor Pate has joined the Discord. Dave McGee has also joined.
Thank you guys so much for joining.
Ambrose is an Imagineer at Disney World? Wait, do you mean he has classes at Adepticon? What is happening?
How many people are left on Twitch? There's 33 people left on Twitch. If any of the 24 people on YouTube want to jump across for the raid, you've got about 30 seconds to do so. /raid.
Ashley, enjoy your trip with your daughter.
Enjoy it all. Take
That's
it all.
gonna be awesome. Yes, and definitely send a picture and just do everything. And buy her a little present that's turtle shaped.
Yes, that's not so little, but yeah. You guys are all awesome. Thank you very much for joining us for our stream, and we shall join you again next week. Yeah, with something else to do. I don't know. We'll figure that out 20 minutes before the stream like we always do.
No, we won't, because we're going to be... I was going to say important. We're going to be organized for a change.
We sure are. Anyway.
She is maybe getting a spearhead. Yay. Good. Okay, good night,
choice.
everyone.
Good night. Good night. Bye-bye. 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 Bye-bye.
Goodbye.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.